welcome to the Oasis. My name's Mike, and this week the wait is finally over, and I'm excited to give you all the details you need to know about the newly announced Oculus Rift S. Now, there has been speculation about this headset for some time, and recently Oculus Rifts were going out of stock in most outlets, adding more credibility to those rumors. But Oculus finally announced the headset during GDC in San Francisco yesterday, the 20th of March. So in today's video, I'm going to start by covering the basics. Then I'm going to be talking about the price, the potential release date, all the specs that we know so far, how it compares to other Oculus headsets, some concerns that I have about this headset, and ultimately who I think this headset is for. As always, I'll put timestamps to everything in the description down below. I'm also super excited to announce that I'm going to be heading to PAX East in Boston next week, where I'll be getting hands-on with the Oculus Rift S, alongside, of course, the Oculus Quest. So I'll be able to give you my first hands-on impressions next week. So if you haven't subscribed to this channel already, do so right now so you can stay in touch with all the juicy VR content coming up in the near future. So without further ado, let's dive in. Okay, so let's start with the basics. The Oculus Rift S is the next iteration of the Oculus Rift. However, it's more of a refresh than a full Rift 2.0. But this is greatly needed because on the 28th of March 2019, it will mark the 3-year anniversary of the original Oculus Rift release. And Oculus Rift owners have been craving an updated Rift for a while now, whilst looking on with envy at the competition who have been releasing higher resolution and wider field of view headsets. So I, like many, were really excited to see what Oculus had in store for us. So let's get right into it. The Rift S is a tethered PC VR headset, so you'll still need a VR capable PC to run a headset like this. If you're unsure if your PC is up to scratch, check out the official Oculus system compatibility tool I've linked in the description down below. If you don't own a powerful enough PC, maybe go and check out the Oculus Quest, which is Oculus's standalone headset, which I've covered in a similar video to this one, which I'll link up here right now. Of course, this headset will be compatible with a complete back catalogue of Oculus Rift content from both Oculus Home and Steam VR. The Oculus Rift S will be launching in spring 2019 for $399 US. It's launching at the same price point and at the same time as the Oculus Quest, which is a bit of a strange move from Oculus, as these headsets could be in competition with each other despite being aimed at two separate markets. If I was a betting man, I'd say it's likely that both the Rift S and Quest will be releasing during Facebook F8, which is being held in California from the 30th of April to the 1st of May. It was at this event that they launched the Oculus Go last year. The Rift S will be completely replacing the original Rift, which is being phased out and soon will no longer be available for sale. Now that we've got the basics out of the way, let's get into the specs, and first up is audio. As you can see, Oculus have ditched the over-ear headphones we know and love from the original Rift, and have gone in favour of a system that delivers audio to the user through channels in the head strap, just like the Oculus Go and Oculus Quest. However, you do have the option to utilise a single 3.5mm headphone jack on the left-hand side of the headset to plug in your own headphones if you wish. The Rift earphones was one of the features of the Rift that I thought was really underrated. The audio quality of them was really great, and personally, I'm quite sad to see them go on this new PC VR headset. From the information provided, the Rift S touts higher pixel density optics and improved display technology with reduced screen door effect. The lenses look identical to the same shape Fresnel lenses we've seen in both the Oculus Go and the Quest. In terms of resolution, field of view and refresh rate, let's compare the specs with the rest of the Oculus lineup. Up first is the Rift S, which has a single 2560 by 1440 LCD display, which equates to 1280 by 1440 pixels per eye, with a supposedly slightly larger field of view than the original Rift, running at 80 Hz refresh rate. And when we compare this to the Oculus Quest, which has two 1600 by 1440 pixels per eye OLED panels at around 100 degrees field of view and will run at a 72 Hz refresh rate, it's kind of strange that the Quest will have a higher resolution than the Oculus Rift S, despite it being a PC-based headset. So now let's compare it to the original Oculus Rift, which sports two 1080 by 1200 pixels per eye OLED panels at around 100 degrees field of view, which runs at 90 Hz. And it's when we compare the Rift S to the Oculus Go that we see some more similarities. Just like the Rift S, the Oculus Go has a single 2560 by 1440 LCD display, which equates to 1280 by 1440 pixels per eye, with around 100 degrees field of view, boosting up to 72 Hz refresh rate in some applications. So it seems the Rift S shares the same LCD panel with the Oculus Go. However, running the Rift S at 80 Hz is an unusual choice. Since the beginning of the resurrection of VR, we've been told that 90 Hz is the optimal refresh rate. And although mobile and standalone devices like Go and Quest run at 72 Hz, this is a PC-based headset where consumers want and expect the best possible experience. The rationale behind this decision seems so Oculus can retain the same minimum spec required for the current Oculus Rift, and it's potentially to do with the limitations of the LCD panel they've chosen for this device. However, with that said, early hands-on reports from my friends that I trust suggest that this reduction in refresh rate isn't noticeable in games. And they also noted an improvement with both God rays and screen door effect. However, being an LCD panel, it won't provide as dark an image in dark scenes as an OLED panel. With that said, it comes with the trade-off that LCD does have a better sub-pixel arrangement, which could provide better clarity in games. The Oculus Rift S won't have a physical IPD adjustment slider like we've got currently on the Rift and the Quest. Instead, it will have a software-based IPD adjustment, and this means that the headset won't offer the same IPD range to accommodate all users. So if you're at one extreme or the other, it might be an issue for you. I actually sit at the lowest IPD setting myself, so it will be interesting to see if the Rift S will accommodate my pupil distance. The Rift S will come with a replaceable 5-meter cable with connections for PC using a DisplayPort and USB 3.0. So sadly, no virtual link support for new NVIDIA RTX card owners. Of course, one of the biggest new features of the Rift S is the inside-out tracking system, which is named Oculus Insight. It's the same tracking system as we've seen on the Oculus Quest. This means that you'll no longer need external sensors for tracking and will render the sensors you already own with Rift obsolete, as they won't be compatible with the Rift S. To achieve the inside-out tracking, Rift S is equipped with not 2, not 4, but 5 cameras dotted around the headset. The camera layout has 2 cameras on the front, 1 on each lower side, and then finally 1 on top. This will prevent dead spots in tracking when playing games. However, just like the Quest and Windows MR headsets, when the controllers are completely occluded from the camera's view, tracking will be greatly reduced, if not lost completely. The benefits, however, are that new users will have a full room-scale VR experience out of the box, without the hassle of setting up multiple sensors with extension cables, and will free up USB ports on your PC, so you'll no longer have to invest in one of those PCIe USB expansion cards. With Oculus Insight, when you set up your play space, you'll get a pass-through view of the room around you, and you just simply stand in one spot and trace the outline of your floor space, which will set up a pop-in guardian wall to prevent you from hitting walls and other objects in your room. I recently got to try out this function on the Oculus Quest, and I have to say, it's very impressive and very simple to use. And you're going to be able to toggle this pass-through camera mode on the fly from Oculus Dash, so you can quickly see what's going on in the real world around you without having to take the headset off. And this is going to be an important feature on the Rift S, as the nose gap has been eliminated with a rubber-looking nose piece, so you'll no longer be able to peek through the nose gap like we know with the Oculus Rift. So let's move on to the controllers. The controllers for Rift S are exactly the same controllers used for Quest. When in VR, they'll feel familiar to those that used the original Oculus Touch controllers, albeit slightly smaller and a little bit lighter. Visually, the main difference is the inverted tracking ring, which contains discrete infrared sensors for constellation tracking from the Rift S headset. Both controllers have rumble haptic feedback, capacitive touch sensors, and thumbsticks. These new controllers still only require a single AA battery, which is accessed by sliding off the grip's cover. These new touch controllers will work with the original Oculus Rift if you need replacements moving forward. However, the original touch controllers won't be compatible with Quest and Rift S. Another big shift for the Rift S is that they've gone for a new Halo-style head strap, designed in conjunction with Lenovo. The headset even has a Lenovo logo on the side of it. It also has an adjustment dial on the back with a material head strap running across the top. The facial interface is foam with what looks like a material padding on the head strap for support at the front and the back. The original Rift has always been the most comfortable headset in my opinion, with its baseball cap style fit. So I'm quite skeptical about this new Halo design. Those out there that wear glasses will be happy to hear that you can now move the facial interface in and out from your eyes with a button on the bottom of the headset, so you can move it in and out to accommodate your glasses. Overall, I would say the design of Rift S doesn't really look like an Oculus product, and it seems the Lenovo input is really shining through. But in the end, it's not what the headset looks like. Most important of all is how it performs playing my favorite VR games and experiences. Okay, so there we have it, guys and girls. That's all the information we know so far about the Oculus Rift S. Now, it seems the focus for Oculus with this headset is to make VR more accessible to the masses. And while I totally understand this approach, it just makes me a little bit concerned about some of their choices, which could potentially, in my opinion, compromise on the overall Rift experience. Now, I feel like I represent the hardcore Rift user here when I say that I've got concerns about the 80Hz refresh rate, the comfort of this new Halo-style head strap, and the lack of built-in audio with the earphones that we know and love with Oculus Rift. But of course, I'm keeping a completely open mind about this headset because I haven't tried it yet myself, and I will be trying it next week whilst I'm at PAX East in Boston. I'm actually really excited to try this headset out with some new games such as Asgard's Wrath, Defector, and of course, Stormland. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Are you excited about this new Rift S headset? And if so, what games are you looking forward to playing on this new device? Also, let me know if there's anything you want to know that maybe I can find out whilst I'm at PAX for you and update you in a future video. I hope you guys and girls have found this video useful. Leave a like if you did. Make sure you're subscribed for all my future content. And as always, I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.